Very good morning. How are you guys doing today? I wanted to continue what we were going over yesterday with the nail that I actually finished, and I'm going to continue to focus on not just file finishing, but I'm going to be using the electric file to go through the whole process of what I need to do in order to get the nail absolutely perfect. So let's just get right into this. So yesterday we did that fade, and what we were left with was this. Well, not this, but just pop that back in. But you can see I have this nail, right? So what I need to do is I have to be able to use my hand file to try to get the sidewall straight. So we're going to break this down into basically 5 points, right? So if you're looking at this from the top profile, if this is the nail, then what we need to be able to do is focus on filing 1, 2, 3, and then under 4, and then under 5. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and then basically from the side profile, right, you're gonna have 4, and then the opposite side will be 5. Right, so if I break that down into filing, I'm going to keep contact with the side. I'm not going to open it up. I need to keep contact with the whole entire side. Right, so this is going to be 1 here. I'm going to try to get this as straight as I can, keeping contact with the whole entire side. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side right here. So most of my pressure is going to be about right here. I'm not going to be putting pressure up here. I'm going to be putting pressure here so that I can get my side as straight as I possibly can. This is 2. And I'm going to continue to saw at this. And I'm just kind of like going back and forth. You can see how I position my hand, right? So that I'm actually resting it on kind of my hand as I file. And you'll also notice that as I file through, you can see how straight the line ends up becoming all the way down, right, to the very, very edge of where the support is going to be. Then what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to straighten up the front end too, right? So we're going to just kind of straighten this up, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3 to get that straight. And then in order to get 4 and 5, the easiest thing to do, don't put yourself in a position where you're like, you just tuck the file here and just start sawing into the corner. You don't want to do that, because what's going to end up happening is you'll end up building kind of a notch right here in the corner. Like, you don't want to put a notch right there. So make it easy for yourself. Turn the client's hand to the side, right? And you want to be able to line the file up parallel to the finger, right? It's not at an angle or like this. And what you notice is that the lower arch, right, this is parallel. The growth channel is right there. If you see, if I line it up, the growth channel is right there. So if I bring it down, you're going to notice that it hangs a little bit lower than the actual growth channel. So if I start at that lowest point and I file up and I continue to file, keeping pressure with the lower arch, what ends up happening is when I reach, I don't really have that much to file, but you can see how straight, look at that, how straight that ends up becoming, okay? Easy to just turn the customer's hand to the side to be able to handle that. So here's the same exact thing. I don't really need that much. Parallel to the finger, right? Turn the hand to the side, file, right? Continue to file until all of the hand file kind of reaches, and then you're gonna do your best job to try to get that as straight as you possibly can, okay? Now, once you actually have all 5 points filed out, then what we want to be able to do is focus on using our electric file to file in the I formation, right? So the I formation is going to be your upper arch, which is this part right here. The highest point of your upper arch is going to be your apex, your cuticle area, your C curve, and then everything in between. When you file, all you have to do is just kind of file through. So when I'm looking at this from the side profile, right, my positioning of when I'm holding my electric file, I'm holding it like this. I'm not holding it, excuse me, like this or like this, right? I'm holding it like I'm writing. And I'm going to turn this up as you guys can see, let's just kind of fire this up. We'll go to about 10,000 RPMs. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to work in forward. I don't work in reverse. Okay, lefties, you will work in reverse. And I want to be able to pull towards myself. So if I'm looking at the side profile, I have to look at this and say, okay, right? You can see looking at it directly from the side, where do I want to be able to file? I don't really have that much to file here. Just going to touch that. I need a little bit right here. And then I need to kind of refine the front so that we have really nice kind of shape all the way through. That's going to be my upper arch. When I'm looking down the barrel of the nail, right? If I'm looking down the barrel of the nail, you're going to see all this bulk. So the front end, right? I'm not going like this. I'm not going side to side. If I go side to side, the barrel slips. If I'm looking down the barrel like this, then what I want to be able to do is I'm really just going to be filing in one direction. You can see as you guys are looking at this, I'm filing in one direction. I'm looking down the barrel of the nail, and I'm trying to get this to be nice and even from side to side, right? I got a little bit of thickness right here, so what we're going to end up doing is just kind of shaping the C curve. Look at that, right? I'm shaping the C curve so I have really great shape from side to side. Then what we want to be able to do is work around the cuticle area. So a lot of the bulk around the cuticle area, which is not a lot, but I just want to barely touch it. And then once I'm done doing that, then I can follow through the balance of the whole entire nail just to kind of shape out the rest of it, right? So, I mean, a lot of the times when you're working, you're not going to be spending a lot of time trying to, like, if for those of you guys that are building the product really, really thick, then you're going to have a very difficult time trying to file everything into perfection. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm just going to be using my hand file just to refine the surface, right? And look, at the end of the day, if you end up removing some of the, like if you're like, wow, I end up filing around the edge and then I ended up removing too much product maybe in the corner here. I haven't removed anything, but don't try to fill it with anything. Use your top gel. Like if you missed an area, apply a little bit of protein bond around the edge and then use your top gel to come in and fill it. It'll just blend in really, really well. Last but not least, what I do is I always like to look down this profile here, which is the client profile. This is going to give you the profile where you're going to be able to keep it really, really, really straight, right? Because this is the profile where your clients are driving away, holding the steering wheel, and they're looking at their nails going, damn, that looks really, really good, right? So that's what they're going to be doing. And what I'll do is I'll hold the finger and then I'll just rest it, right? Make a peace sign, rest it in between my knuckle, rest it on the surface, and just kind of glide from side to side just to make it as even as I possibly can. And once I actually have it quite tight, then I'm done. So finishing wise, I'm gonna come through, right? I'll just kind of swipe the surface to make sure that I get all the dust off of the surface. I'll always take a little bit of PB, little protein bond. The reason why it acts like an anchor around the cuticle area. So, I mean, if anything, you're going to apply it to the whole entire surface, but really, the areas that are missing if you overfile are great. And then, coming through, it's just going to add really good adhesion to the surface. And then you're going to notice, right, that when I apply the top gel to the surface, right, I want to be able to balance. You can see how well the glitter really comes out as I work all the way through to get a great fade. And that's what we want to be able to accomplish. And you can see from all the sides, right, as I work this all around, right? So, it's a great way of being able, and look, at the end of the day, it's not about making it like, you don't have to make it perfect. If some of the edges are off, for those of you guys that are starting, don't focus on trying to make them look identical to mine. In time, they'll come. You'll get it perfect. You have to be able to focus on the rhythm of your prep, your application, and your finishing. For those of you guys that are starting and you're slow, time yourself. See how long it takes you, right? See how long it takes you to do your prep. Don't spend more than, I'd say, maximum, right? And again, Tracy would disagree with me, but max, you're not gonna spend more than 10 minutes. I mean, think about a minute a finger, that's crazy. It should take you 5 minutes to prep the hand. Time yourself with application, right? Focus on literally 2 minutes a finger. Boom. So if you're spending 2 minutes a finger, that's 20 minutes. Then when it comes to finishing, the same thing, right? So if you're spending, say, 2 minutes a finger, refining it and getting it perfect, that's another 20 minutes. So 40 plus 45. Now that's, again, with all of you talking, with all the stuff, interacting, making sure that you're making it as perfect as you possibly can, an hour. For those of you guys, again, that are working on getting from 2 hours to, say, an hour and 30, well, then you have to figure if it's taking you 90 minutes, right, to do a set, that's 9 minutes a finger. Okay, break it down like that. Break it into segments: preparation, application, finishing. Start timing yourself, start working. There was a few people that were on Twitch this morning talking about their experience. For those of you guys that are working on a practice hand and you feel like it's just tedious, look, start doing nails not only on family and friends, but start putting your work out on yourself. Use yourself as a walking billboard so you can show off the work that you're doing. It's going to be really, really important for you to be able to do that so that you can start promoting yourself. Don't be afraid. Take that first step. Jump in. Start doing people's nails for real. It's going to make a huge difference in your technique and your application. If you guys have questions, hit me up. Always here to help. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Peace.